This One's Wife. Costner. The Grabbing Hands. The grabbing hands grab all they can, all for themselves, after all. The grabbing hands grab all they can, all for themselves, after all. It's a competitive world. Yes, 1983's hit from the marvellous Depeche Mode, Everything Counts. Open brackets in large amounts, close brackets. Certainly something that a somatic narcissist, such as this one's wife, would subscribe to, although wouldn't admit to it. But much as it's tempting to talk about the brilliance of Depeche Mode, we're not going to do that. Instead, we're going to talk about an appearance of this one's wife and the Prince of Pink Pancakes. He went to Britain, he met Pa, he came back, and they have appeared. Yes, as per, who else? People. This one's wife and Prince Harry step out at Santa Barbara benefit, their first outing since the Prince's royal reunion. But what did she grab this time? You'll recall that hitherto, those grabbing hands made a grab for the mic, and most entertainingly, a lady said, "No fucking chance. You're not speaking here. We do not want to be assailed by your beige tsunami of word salad and fridge magnet platitudes. No, madam, not today." And that lady clung onto that mic to ensure that the talons of this one's wife did not wrap around it, as she is so used to grabbing any kind of phallic symbol, for it is muscle memory of her yacht girl days, and prevented her from assaulting the ears of all those assembled. Did she make a grab for the mic once again? Did she make a grab for Kevin Costner, suggesting that she really ought to be the lead in The Bodyguard, as has been suggested in parts passing? Did she make a grab for somebody's meat and two veg? Did she make a grab for some freebies? Well, in actual fact, unsurprisingly, it was her husband that she was grabbing at. Prince Harry and this one's wife made a surprise joint appearance at the 1805 live concert. By surprise joint appearance, it would appear that nobody really knew that they would be attending. The Duke of Sussex stepped out for a third year running to the event on Saturday, September the 20th, this time joined by his wife, 44. It's rather amusing, as Harry's referenced as the Duke of Sussex, and she's just referred to as his wife, which is entirely apt, because that's all she is. She is a non-entity, apart from the fact that she happened to marry the hapless Prince of Pink Pancakes, so everybody unfortunately got to know about her. The concert, which was held at Kevin Costner's Oceanside estate in California, raises funds for essential equipment and mental wellness programs for Santa Barbara County's first responders. This year's event featured Trisha Yearwood, no idea. Good Charlotte, haven't a clue. The Fray, nope. And more. Well, they don't mean anything to me. They might mean something to you. This one's wife wore a midnight blue sleeveless shirt dress and tan heels for the occasion, like I give a shit, while Harry sported a dark jacket, shirt and pants. Yes, I can see what they're wearing. I have eyes and I've seen the pictures. You don't need to tell me. The couple's concert appearance marks their first public outing since Harry's reunion with his father, King Charles, yada yada yada. The Duchess of Sussex briefly joined her husband on stage. Why? At the benefit concert, before giving him a quick hug and then watching from the side of the stage as Harry presented an award to Santa Barbara County Fire Chief Mark Hartwig. So, you weren't meant to be on the stage at all, were you? It would appear that Harry was wanted for the purposes of presenting an award and evidently said a few words, as you can see from the pictures. But of course, this one's wife has to ensure that she goes up on the stage with him. Now, anybody else, other than a narcissist, would be thinking to themselves, gosh, it'd be a bit cringe if I go up as well. I'm not speaking, I'm not involved, I'm not a patron of this organisation, I'm not presenting the award. It's my husband that's presenting the award. I'll stay in the crowd, or I'll just watch from the sidelines and cheer him on. Oh no, but not for this narcissist. Naturally, she needs to ensure that she's photographed and that she appears. It doesn't matter to her that she looks ridiculous. It doesn't matter to her that she looks like the spare part that we all know her to be. That doesn't register with her because her narcissism is saying, you are important. You should be on there. They're actually looking at you because you're beautiful. Get your shoulders out again. Do you look like a linebacker? Of course not. They're all envious of these marvellous shoulders that you sport. Do I look overdressed for this occasion with everybody else looking casual? Of course not. I am the epitome of elegance. After all, I am subconsciously trying to compete with Catherine at the state banquet, but I won't admit to that. Is my hair slightly lighter? Oh, you happen to notice. Am I copying Catherine? No, of course not. Did she lighten her hair? I hadn't heard. Yet again, this mid-range type asomatic narcissist needs to ensure that it's about her. And although she didn't make a grab for the mic, or at least as far as we're told that she didn't, she certainly grabbed onto her husband. She grabbed onto him for the purposes of going on the stage. And as you can see from the pictures, that whilst he's trying to talk, there she is, with a hand coming out to try and touch him, another hand trying to take his hand whilst he's talking and not even looking at her. She is like that needy toddler. Me, I'm here, don't forget about me. Some people interpret it as anxiety on her part. It isn't. It's all about drawing attention to herself. You see, even for that second when Harry's looking elsewhere, that threatens her control of him. It's that bad. And her narcissism directs her, subconsciously, to regain that control, and she seeks to do so by physical means. In some instances, the narcissist might interrupt, wanting to try and speak. But here, she utilises the physical assertion of control, which means she can't leave him alone, pawing at him, those grabbing hands coming forward. Harry probably finds it rather irritating, but knows better than to complain about it. And as you can see from the pictures, she demonstrates her narcissism once again. She turns up on the stage where she's not needed, but that doesn't matter. Her lack of boundary recognition and the necessity of putting herself at the centre of matters propels her onto that stage. She's not making a speech or presenting an award, but that's irrelevant to her. She has to be seen. When Harry's speaking, she has to ensure that he is reminded of her presence, hence the grabbing hand keeps popping up and pawing at him. It's all symptomatic of her narcissism once again. Kevin Costner didn't appear to be anywhere near them, probably thinking there's not a fucking chance that I want to be seen with that nutcase. And it's probably the case that they weren't actually invited. For this event, you purchased tickets, and I should imagine that the hapless Sussexes bought tickets just so that they could attend, and the PR people got in touch and said, Harry's coming, would you like him to present an award? To which they think, well, fair enough, it'll gain some coverage, because after all, he is a prince of the realm, so yes, we'll do that. And naturally, this one's wife just turns up as the +1. She's irrelevant, but not in her world. She thinks she matters. And thus were displayed, once again, the grabbing hands. She didn't manage to get pictured with Costner. She didn't manage to grab the mic. She did ensure that Backgrid were there to have pictures of her taken, talking to people and seeing generally around, showing off her rictus grin and oversized shoulders. But once again, what it does demonstrate that in the week that the Prince and Princess of Wales were at a state banquet with all of those prominent names that I've mentioned in a separate video, the best that this one's wife can come up with is a picture of her in the garden and paying for a ticket to attend an event at Kevin Costner's fundraising, and Costner isn't even bothered to spend time with her. She really is a failure. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.